Hi kids, welcome to Terry on Tuesday.
Okay, so little break here. If you've seen my video from a couple of weeks ago entitled Real or Fake or Genuine or Fake, I've got something very similar from the US, direct from the seller. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed and it ain't working too well. What an idiot. But I like to do the unboxing. Let's try this side. Come on, doobie 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 doo. Yeah, looks like I won't be using this envelope again. Okay, so bubble wrap, great. I'm going to do this one-handed. It's a lot of wrapping for a piece of paper. Quick, scalpel. Not open? Here we go. Thank you for your order. Wrapped in nice crepey paper. More tape. Oh my goodness. It's like Fort Knox. And a sticker on that side, but I'm going to wreck it. Okay. Unwrap the crepey paper. And we have a piece of plastic. Okay, so this is a page from Mostly Harmless, the fifth Hitchhiker's book by Douglas Adams. It's been taken out of the book, obviously, and it's very yellowed. As you can see, this is from doesn't say what edition is. Oh, first published in 1992. So, this is from a book trader, seller, and is purported to be an authentic Douglas Adams autograph. Now, just like my last video, there's no way I can guarantee this is actually Douglas Adams' autograph. All I can do, if I move it to the side here, is so I've got some room to put in similar autographs by Douglas Adams. Now, unlike the last book that I bought, and admittedly it was on a bit of a whim, and you can see that, well, in the previous video it didn't look very much like his at all, but this does look very much like his. A few people say that his signature, when rushed, looks like the words "Bop Ad." And again, anyone could do this. So they've made a lot of money off me if they have. But again, I'm much happier with this one. It was not cheap, but because it's a single page, I can frame this and put it somewhere on the wall that's not going to catch a lot of sunlight and fade. But yeah, I'm a lot happier with this. Had to be done because it goes with my other treasured autograph of Kenny Everett. So again, much happier with this. I think that's what tick off the old bucket list. Got Douglas Adams' autograph, and anyone doesn't believe me, I don't care. All right, unboxing number 2. Weirdly folded over ends there. And here we are. So, as you can probably see, it's a piece of metal.
Shiny metal!
Protective plastic on that side. Now, check the measurements. It should be 45 millimeters. Yes, it is. As I asked for. It should be a meter long. Doesn't need to be exactly a meter long, but let's have a look. 45 is there. 45 is 90. Yep, that's a meter long. Now, why do I need it? To answer that question, we need a Marvin head. just like that. So, as you know, Marvin has a collar all the way around, which is on the real thing a sort of chrome, in colour at least. Put those down so I don't get any scratches on it, I've learned. Yeah, so actually it's not working. Not working very much. Oh, that'll do. So my original plan was to get some chrome tape and put this sort of the tin foil tape all the way around like that, which isn't bad, but I'm wondering if it would be bumpy and not very good once stuck on. So in the end I went for another case of try and make it a bit more accurate for very little money. So I decided to go like the original and use aluminium at 45. Do you know what? This is 42 millimeters, which is very fitting for Marvin, but this is 45. That will go all the way around, and in fact it will be divided into two parts. One strip to go from, a bit closer, one strip to go from there all the way around to the same point on the other side, and same from the front all the way around to that side, and little screws put in all four corners. That doesn't look too great. Oh, it's alright. Yeah, so I'm going to bend the strip all the way around, cut it into the two pieces it needs to be, front and back. Then I think I'm going to put the little screws in, but that's not what's going to hold it. I think I'm going to epoxy it all the way around, so that it's held on by glue more than the screws, because this is only 3D printed and I don't know if screws will hold it as well as it should. So yes, that's what that's for. I'm not going to do that on camera, I don't think, as I will probably mess it up on camera. So that's what that is for, and that should be right. Let me just check if the inside, I'm going to check if the inside is very shiny or not. Got to be careful, the sharp edges on this chap. Oh, they have deburred it. It's reasonably blunt, which is good. Same thing, it's a kind of brushed aluminium look on both sides, which is fine. So leave that on protective for now. Measure this out, cut it into two pieces, bend it, glue it and screw it. Obviously I'm going to have to drill screw holes for that. It shouldn't take too long on aluminium.
Shiny metal!
Okay, so 12 hours later, with a little bit of cutting, dremeling, drilling, etc. I made my very hard to bend these. Not that it was hard to bend, but hard to get the right curve. Anyway, first one is on. This is at the back of the head, so it goes all the way around to the sides with the holes at the top, just like the real thing. The real thing does have extra screws up here, but I'm not going to bother. Just keep it neat. One thing I have noticed though, we have an overhang all the way around of a few mil, which I don't know if that's going to become a problem. I either fill this gap here or I just cut the metal down. We'll have to decide, but we'll worry about that later. So now what I've got to do is use all the clamps in the world. Alright, so here's my second piece. That is going to go on here. Make sure I line it up. And the way I've affixed this one is just 3 blobs of epoxy glue and then clamp it overnight. Clamp it nice and good. And I've got some fake screws to go in there, so I'll drill those through, put the fake screws in, and a much nicer collar. I think he'll look fine. You see? Yeah. I mean, it's not as reflective as I think the real thing was, probably stainless steel. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from putting that on at the end, but this stuff does, as you can see, does tend to hold every little bend, every little ding, like tin foil basically, so it's very hard to get it. And even when it's on something, it still dents and scratches, you see. So I might do away with this idea, use it for something else. What I have used this for is cut triangles out and put it in the boxes behind the eyes so it's extra reflective. So yeah, that's looking very much like the real thing. I could polish this up a little bit, I suppose, but I think it's fine. It adds a little bit of neatness to what was originally a slightly scruffier collar. So I'm going to mix up the little bit of araldite, blob there, blob there, blob there, clamp it on another 12 hours.
Okay, so first draft, this is where we are at the moment. It's built on blast effects, so there's blast effects there. You won't need to use this. You've got a battery cable here, which you can attach your power to. And you go run a battery into there. Or if you want to, you can actually power it via USB the same way I have. Entirely up to you. Two buttons. You got your main fire button, and you got your mode button for accessing your settings and things. Obviously, you can change these buttons if you want to. I've also left, as well as the new Dalek profile that I've done. Oh, there's me, by the way. Hello. As well as the new Dalek profile that I've done for Blast Effects, there's also, I've left all other, I think it's 60 profiles in there now, so you can have a play. I'll give you a nice big speaker, mainly because it's very, very loud, and this is only on the medium setting at the moment, so you'll hear how loud it is once I press the big red button. I actually made a new firing animation for these, whereas before it would just go down the end like that. It actually looked a bit pants through these holes, because essentially they're not big enough to let a load of light through. So I came up with a better firing animation. And essentially that just stays lit for the duration of the sound of the fire in itself, the sound of the shot. Yeah, the shot. And it's the one that you gave me, mate. So that's the file that you sent me in there. In order to get the best out of the speaker, I would suggest if you don't use this one, you can do it with another one, change the speaker, do whatever you wish. But if you do use this one, rather, I will put some kind of cardboard cone around there. It only needs to be about an inch high, and it'll hugely change the tone of this, make it a little more bassy, because obviously in open air these things always sound tinny. What you can also do, push and hold this to access the settings.
Settings on.
And then you push this button again to go through the different options.
Current weapon, Dalek.
Alright, so that's set to Dalek at the moment. If you want to change any of these, you press the red button.
Volume, medium.
For example.
High, off, low, medium.
There you
go. Laser, off.
The laser's not installed in yours, but the option's still there as default in Blast Effects.
Background theme, off.
Right. If you get the options to turn on background theme and what are called singles, I'll explain that in a second. If you hear that option, that means you do have a background theme in here. So if I turn that on, and go to the next one.
Autoplay singles, off.
Right, autoplay singles. So there's also a directory full of quotes, Dalek quotes in here. So I'll just turn that on because it's a bit fun, mate, more than anything else.
On.
And then...
Settings off.
Timeline stable. Increasing vectors 1 to 9. Initiating phase 7 in 60 rels.
And obviously, if you want to turn them off,
weapon, Dalek.
Go back through.
Volume, medium. Laser, off. Background theme, on. Autoplay singles, on, off.
Turn those off. I'll leave the theme on though. I really like the theme.
Settings off.